In recent years, mobile phones have evolved in such a way that we no longer know what can be expected for the future. However, there are many prototypes and cell designs that you may find very curious. That's why, in this video, I'm going to show you 6 incredible cell phones you should know. If you want to see the whole series of cell phones, you can click right here or subscribe to my channel. Come on, you won't regret it. Without further ado, let's get started. Many of us abandoned the traditional watch when we incorporated the smartphone into our lives. Lately, with the fever of the smartwatch, there are many skeptics who refuse to put the watch back on their wrist. But maybe this smartphone makes you change your mind. It's a cell phone that you can carry on your wrist as if it were a watch. Unlike a common cell phone, this one has unique features. Since having to use it on the wrist, it will have the same functions as a high-end smartwatch, like how to sense your mood, monitor your diet and exercise routine, as well as measure your heart rate and much more. The interesting thing about this cell phone watch is that you will be able to connect it with other smart devices in your home. And since it senses your mood, it will be able to play music according to it. Or if you are in a bad mood, it will play music to relax. In addition, it has 2 built-in cameras, one on the front and one on the back. It will have sensors capable of analyzing any object to your front. This cell phone is designed for people who are athletes because having everything you need on your wrist, you won't have to take your smartphone out of your pocket all the time. Imagine a day with your family or friends, without anyone being stuck to the screens of their cell phones. It would certainly be something very nice. However, nowadays it is almost impossible to have such a moment, because while technology advances more and more, we become more dependent on it. To solve this problem, OFF1 is here. This cell phone is made of electronic ink and capable of lasting 15 days and even more without charging it. So it is because this phone is only for making calls and sending text messages, and also for playing music, but only that. This phone is designed to avoid all kinds of distractions and live a quieter life. Above all, for people who neither know how to use a smartphone nor use all the applications it brings, this cell phone would be very useful. Besides, let's admit it, who wouldn't like to have a cell phone like this, even if it is to be used from time to time, on a day out, or when we want to get away from social networks? Okay, so they don't say that I clickbait. I'll talk about this cell phone. Doesn't it look very funny? Well, this unusual smartphone seems to have life. You know why? Because when you get a notification or a simple call, the cell phone totally changes its shape. That's right. The multisensory notification system that alerts the user to incoming calls is not only a vibration or a simple sound, but also the phone changes its shape and flexes in a more ergonomic way to make it more comfortable to put it against the ear. At rest, the phone remains flat, but when activated by a call, it begins to flex, offering an additional visual indication. The most interesting thing about this is that you will be able to set up its shape according to the notifications you want. You can change it when you receive a message or call from WhatsApp, or simply change its form only when a specific user calls you, be it your mom, your girlfriend, or your boyfriend. Furthermore, it has very similar features to a mid-range phone. Unfortunately, it is a prototype, and much of the technical detail about it is still unknown. But come on, we have to admit that it's something very innovative, and a bit weird too. But it still looks great. Surely many of you have already heard rumors about this smartphone. We're talking about Red Hydrogen One. For those who don't know the Red company, it is well known for making super professional cameras in the world of cinema. And being in the top 1 as the best cameras in the world, they are offering something new. For the first time, this company will develop a smartphone, but not just any phone, but a holographic one. That's right. You can see multi-dimensional holographic content, something like Iron Man, only this time it's going to be real. In addition to being able to see holographic content, you will also be able to see virtual and augmented reality content on your phone. Also view 3D content without the need for glasses. It sounds very promising. But something that is very interesting is that this phone will have both the Android operating system and the Hydrogen system red cameras. And it will be modular, something like Motorola with its Moto modes. Although it is not known yet what accessories it will bring, we just have to wait. The pre-sale has already started, and you can order your Hydrogen One from the official Red website. Its price in aluminum is $1,195, and in titanium it is $1,595. Nothing cheap, but surely it'll be worth it, I assure you. There are very few cell phones with two screens, and many companies have opted for this. However, they have not been very successful. That's why they have already been out of the market for some time. However, the ZTE company still wants to bet on this and presents us with a smartphone with two screens, named Axon M. This smartphone was launched a few months ago and recently has just arrived in the US. It has two 5.2 inches Full HD screens and a 20 megapixel camera capable of taking photos and videos in 4K. The interesting thing about this is that it only has one built-in camera. Remember that being a folding cell phone, we wouldn't need it, because with just turning the screen, we would have our front camera. A very novel feature about this phone is that it shows a button in the start bar with the symbol M. This button will allow us to change between the different operating modes. We have 4 modes. One that is the only screen, which comes into operation when we close the phone. In this mode, it works like any normal smartphone. The extended mode, as its name says, the two screens work as if it were one, like a tablet. The other, which is the dual mode, is very interesting. The two screens are independent. They work something like Android multitasking. With this mode, we can use different applications while doing other things. And finally, the mirror mode, which duplicates the same screen that we are seeing on both screens, which could be useful when sharing a video or a photo on a table with a group of friends or family. Or it can also be useful in multiplayer games. And so you don't have to be constantly passing the cell phone to your partner. This cell phone is already available and its price is around $800. And speaking of folding cell phones, why not talk about the Samsung Galaxy X? As you know, this cell phone is the most rumored in the entire network, and still there is no official data on what features to tell. But what we do know is that it will be foldable and mark a new design in the world of smartphones. Among all the possible designs that this cell phone could have, in my opinion, this is one of the most brilliant and possibly the final design that this smartphone will have. As we can see, it will have a main screen very similar to the Samsung Galaxy S9, and something very incredible is that it will have a screen in the center to be able to use it as a tablet. Just as a previous cell phone, it will have different modes, but the new thing this design has is that when the screen is double, you can also use it as a mini computer. You can even connect peripherals like a mouse or a keyboard. It is made of a premium leather and Cellular for greater resistance. It will have 6 to 8 GB of RAM, as well as the latest Samsung Exynos processor. It should be noted that the design looks great and that it might completely change the concept of the smartphones we have today. So tell me what you think. And to finish, I have applause. That's right, there will be 7 cell phones that I will show you today. What would happen if we mix a drone with a smartphone? Well, what? What the fuck? That's what I said to myself. Nothing came up my mind until I met the LG U+. That if it were to be commercialized, it would be the first drone phone in the whole world. I know that the idea is too crazy, but come on, it's a very good idea. But who the hell is gonna make a phone fly? There would be no more memes about airplane mode on phones because now your cell phone is going to fly. And the most interesting thing is that with the technology that we have today, it is indeed possible to get to manufacture a phone with those characteristics. Of course, it would not look as good as it looks in the video, it would be somewhat different. According to LG, the prototypes of this cell phone have been a success, but they are still in the testing phase. If this were to be true, it would mean a breakthrough in mobile technology. With this cell phone, you can take a selfie in the air since it is designed in such a way that the phone can rotate 360 degrees in order to follow you with the camera. Whatever you are doing, whether cliff jumping, swimming, hang gliding, the phone can accompany you in the air, on the ground, and over the water, and can even light up at night with this high-intensity flashlight. Something that looks super cool is that the phone also has a self-charging function, but not just any function. Just imagine that when the phone has little battery left, it will go literally flying to its station to charge itself. It would undoubtedly be something incredible.
Shut up and take my money!
There are not yet many specifications about this cell phone, but I will be reporting everything on my social networks. Honestly, I love this smartphone. I would like to see it very soon in the market. But now tell me, which of all these smartphones that I showed you today would you like to have? Leave your comments. Share this video with your friends. Don't forget to follow me on all my social networks, that would be a very good idea. Make yourself at home so you can keep on watching some of my other videos. I'll leave it to you next. Take care and see you soon. Bye.